Hello and welcome to our day-long coverage of the People's World in the world's greatest democratic exercise. This is India Decides 2024, where we'll get you all the latest in the top developments related to the results of the Indian national elections, which have taken place all over the nation over the course of nearly 1.5 months, where over 642 million voters stepped out of their homes, sometimes in heat-wave conditions, to choose their political representatives. I'm Gautam Roy, and with me is my co-anchor Shubhendu Ghosh.
Thank you, Gautam. Just to put the number of voters in perspective once again, what does 642 million? It's roughly 2.5 times the number of voters in the entire European Union, which is 27 countries. Incidentally, it is also going to be elections starting the 6th of June, European Union. You could tune in for all the updates related to that election as well from anywhere in the world on DD India when it happens. But today, the singular focus will remain on the India elections. Counting of votes begin at 8 a.m. So less than an hour to go for the counting to begin. We'll keep you posted accurately on how the counter moves with detailed analysis from our expert guests, also reporters on the ground. First, the headlines.
We're counting for India's general elections 2024 to begin at 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time. All eyes on results of the world's biggest democratic exercise. The fate of over 8,000 candidates sealed in EVMs will be decided shortly from now.
Also awaited are state assembly results of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Results of Himachal Pradesh by-election will also be announced, which could determine the midterm fate of the state government.
Robust security arrangements have been put in place at all counting centres across the country. It's all set for the process of tallying of votes in electronic voting machines starting 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time.
And DD India is bringing you the most incisive, comprehensive, accurate, minute-to-minute updates on the biggest election of the year.
So the process of the formation of the 18th term of India's lower house is in its final leg as the counting of votes is set to begin very shortly.
The mammoth exercise took place across 7 rounds of polling spread over a period of 44 days. People from all walks of life stepped out to exercise their right to vote. For the first time, the Election Commission of India did make arrangements for senior citizens aged 85 years and above, and also persons with 40% and above disabilities to be able to vote from home. Good percentage of turnout was recorded in most of the phases.
And let's get you a sense of the anticipation that is building up in the air. We have two of our colleagues joining us from the BJP's office in Delhi as well as the Congress office in Delhi, the AICC office, the Bendu models from the BJP office and Akshay Dongre from the Congress. First to you, the Bendu, can you tell us what's it looking like for the BJP? Very positive outlook as far as the exit polls are concerned, and they're quite confident it seems, but how's that reflecting at the BJP office where you are?
Well, Gautam, good morning to you and Shubhendu as well. Of course, you know, at the BJP headquarters, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. The results will start pouring in from 8 a.m. But of course, we'll have to wait till about 11 to 12 o'clock to get concrete trends of the results. But despite that, Gautam, what we are witnessing at the BJP headquarters is that BJP has made elaborate arrangements for the media here in the BJP headquarters in New Delhi with, you know, the setting up of the tents. The BJP is also preparing laddus. It is confident of winning this elections as well. This will be the third consecutive term if it is elected to power. Of course, we'll get to know in a short while. The BJP is also preparing puris for all the karyakartas that will be coming in throughout the day at this BJP party headquarters, which seems, the atmosphere here is positive. The party seems confident that it is going to sail through very easily, and going by the exit polls, what the party says that it is going to come close to what the exit polls numbers are predicting, of about 315 odd seats for the BJP alone. So of course, it's very early in the morning, but despite that, full-on preparations are on here at the BJP headquarters. The party leaders will of course start coming in from about 10:30 to 11 o'clock is what we are being told. But despite that, the officials at the BJP headquarters have started their preparations. Everything they're taking care that everything, all the karyakartas that come in do not face any inconvenience. Also adequate water, given the fact that Delhi is experiencing severe heat waves. So all the karyakartas who come in to celebrate here at the BJP headquarters is given.
That's what I was wondering about. Is there a whiff of sweets in the air as well?
Placements at the headquarters, yes.
Are we showing shots of sweets and laddus?
Well,
we don't know
made,
where they're coming from,
cooked,
though.
Right?
Yes, Divyendu, go on. Sorry.
It is from the BJP headquarters. It is from the BJP headquarters, Shubhendu. They are preparing sweets here. We are seeing on my right, the tent is set up where the halwais are making all these sweets as well as puris and halwas for all the karyakartas that will be coming in at the BJP headquarters as the day goes by, as the results start pouring in. So that's what we have from the BJP headquarters for now.
All right. Akshay, let me turn to you. Divyendu tells us that sweets are already being prepared at the BJP headquarters. Now, Congress had rejected the exit poll results, fair enough, but today is the day of exact results. How is the party gearing up for that? Take us through the mood at the Congress headquarters in New Delhi.
Well, Shubhendu, I'm here at the All India Congress Committee headquarters right now. That is on the 24 Akbar Road in New Delhi. In fact, for a lot of years in the history of independent India, this has in a way been the power center of the country, and now in the past 10 years it has been been the headquarters for the Congress party. It has seen many ups and many downs. However, if I show you what is the mood like ahead of the voting, ahead of the counting of the votes, then I would like to just ask my camera person to pan and to show that what is the situation here at the All India Congress Committee headquarters. You can see certain Congress workers who have gathered here. However, along with excitement, there is an air of pessimism as well, Shubhendu. And the reason why I am saying this is because of the placards that are there in the hands of these Congress workers who are standing here. It reads that देश का लोकतंत्र और संविधान जीतेगा या मोदी की EVM. So the essential question here is that whether the democracy and the constitution will win, or the EVM of the Modi government is essentially the message that the Congress party is in fact trying to send from here, from the All India Congress Committee headquarters. Now, so if the message at the Congress headquarters early in the morning is in a way pessimistic one, that if the Congress wins, then the democracy wins, the constitution wins, but if the BJP wins, then it is going to be the electronic voting machines, that too of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So
yes,
this is
it
the
does
message
seem that
the
the mood is quite
people are trying
pensive
to give.
and a bit downbeat as
in
well,
fact,
Akshay.
that is what the message coming in from here.
Yeah, Akshay, if you can hear me, I do get the
Right.
sense that the mood is quite pensive and a little negative there with those posters and placards and the workers holding them up. But is there Sidhu Moosewala also playing in the backdrop somewhere, 295?
Well, not exactly, not right now, Gautam, but yes, that song 295 is now being discussed a lot by the Congress leaders, because that is what the former Congress President Rahul Gandhi has talked about, that the party is going to get at least 295 seats, dismissing the exit polls, not just from one media organization, but almost from every media organization. The prediction right now is a heavy victory for the NDA alliance, and the India alliance being restricted to just about 100 to 150 seats, but that is not acceptable to the Congress leaders. They have been calling these rigged exit polls. They have been leveling all sort of allegations against not just the BJP but media houses as well about rigging of these elections. So and rather the voting process as well. So here you can see Jagdish Sharma is written there, who is the leader that's standing and giving bites to the media houses as well. And this organization is calling itself Rahul Priyanka Gandhi Sena. So here we will see how the mood changes once the vote counting begins, and once the picture becomes clear. We'll get to see that whether the exit polls were correct or not, but that all has to be seen once the counting begins. Back to you.
All right, Akshay. Dipendu, let me come to you once more. Give us a sense of also the cadre and the party workers of the BJP. What is the mood there? It'll be interesting to also compare the manner in which the cadre is feeling today. The Congress is already holding a placard that either Congress is going to win or it's going to be a defeat of democracy as a whole, that the EVMs have been compromised. It's a narrative that we've heard before as well. Give us a sense of how's the BJP cadre there at the headquarters at the moment? Dipendu.
Well, Shubhendu, here, unlike the Congress, what my colleague Akshay has been showing, we don't see much of BJP workers here in the BJP headquarters at the moment. I think they will be starting to come in once the results starts pouring in. They are not jumping into any conclusion just by seeing the exit polls. But I'm also being told that the BJP has restricted any form of celebration by its cadre or by its karyakartas or workers before the trends starts to come in and the trend starts to settle in. So we see, all the preparations are going on in full swing at the BJP headquarters, but despite that, there's not much celebration that we get to witness at this moment. Also, the fact that it's just 7 o'clock in the morning, the EVMs have not opened, the counting process have not yet begun. So, the BJP is taking it slow. I think perhaps they're confident that yes, they're going to win. They have the whole day to celebrate. So why rush early in the morning? They'll start coming in once the trend starts coming in and the EVMs open. What we perhaps, as I said, see is that the preparations to welcome its karyakartas, to welcome the Prime Minister, who will also be coming here if the results, of course, goes as what the opinion polls, I beg your pardon, the exit poll shows. So the preparations are on also to welcome the Prime Minister, who will be here at the BJP headquarters later in the day today. So of course, that's what we are witnessing at the BJP headquarters here in the national capital, New Delhi.
Okay, let's also quickly cut back to Akshay as well. Akshay, just wanted to ask you, since the mood is negative in the Congress camp and overall the India or the India alliance, is it because they've not been able to establish any of the charges that they've leveled against the EVMs, the Election Commission? And is there a focus on vigilance now? Because that is what will matter for them in case there are seats where the fights are quite close.
Well, absolutely. As far as the management is concerned, Gautam, yes, there have been certain times, in fact, a lot of times where the Congress party has leveled allegations. However, when it comes to backing them up with truth, they have fallen short. In fact, top Congress leader just a few days back, in fact, tweeted on social media that Union Home Minister Amit Shah has held meeting with 150 district magistrates across the country and has in fact threatened them in a way to get certain things done. But when the Election Commission of India had asked for proof from the Congress leadership, they had asked for 7 days time and perhaps more, saying that they will need certain time to gather evidences. So that is the biggest question, that if the Congress leadership is leveling allegations without even having those adequate evidences, then that's a very dangerous thing as far as the entire electoral process is concerned, because the message that goes on from the Congress leadership, whether true or false, that is perceived as the ultimate truth by the Congress cadre. So that poses a very difficult situation, because then you are not just leveling question mark on your rival parties, but also institutions and independent institutions like the Election Commission of India as well, stating or rather leveling such a serious allegation that the Union Home Minister is in fact in a way threatening so many district magistrates, bureaucrats across the country.
Yes, but there was no substantiation of that charge.
The polling votes. That is absolutely.
All right, after BJP and the Congress, let's also take stock of the next big party in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party. Our colleague Preeti Bhalla is joining us from the headquarters of Aam Aadmi Party office. Preeti, good morning. We saw sweets being made at the BJP headquarters, at the Congress headquarters, a mood of caution. Aam Aadmi Party has had a difficult election with the convener Arvind Kejriwal facing serious allegations of corruption, in fact being in jail and only coming out in the last couple of weeks.
Preeti, you're outside the Aam Aadmi Party office. I thought a better place to track the AAP leadership would have been the Tihar Central Jail.
But Preeti, take us through how is it like at Aam Aadmi Party office this morning?
Yes, it is indeed a slow start to the morning, Shubhendu and Gautam. But when we talk, it's a little too early because the counting will start at 8 a.m. And when we talk of the preparations are being put in place. The LED screens are being set up at the AAP office. But again, as you said that yes, it's not a very pacey day here at AAP office right in the morning because the chances, the exit polls say it all. They are expecting a good run for the BJP in the national capital. The Congress and the AAP, where they've come together, this alliance of convenience, how far will it ring in with the voters will have to be seen. When we talk of the contest here, when we talk of how the parties are positioned and the prospects, then definitely Congress and AAP came together to basically to take away the votes of the split votes of the BJP. So we'll have to see how that factor works on. And also a lot will also depend on the fence sitters of the BJP when we talk of the vote share, and we'll also have to see how that pans out for this alliance. It did raise a lot of eyebrows when Congress and AAP in fact came together, and also the disgruntled cadre of the party in Congress, of the Congress party, in fact, they did put forth their ire against this. But then, as we say, that politics is all about opportunities. We'll have to see how this pans out ahead through the day and for the parties as well.
All right, Preeti. And in terms of how this alliance that the AAP stitched up with the Congress and the others in the opposition, the fate of that will also be judged today. So how is the Aam Aadmi Party looking at that bit? Because in its, well, at least one of its strongholds, there was no tie-up in Punjab.
Yes, when we talk of Punjab, all right, before that, Gautam, when we talk of the prospects in Delhi, then in spite of winning power, in Delhi for 2 times, in fact twice, AAP has not been able to manage even a single Lok Sabha seat. So Arvind Kejriwal left no stone unturned to woo the voters. We saw how he came out on interim bail to campaign for these elections. But then again, we'll have to see how that again clicks with the voters because yes, we'll have to see how that again clicks with the voters. When we talk of the contest in Punjab, then these two friends are again foes in Punjab. All 13 seats, both the parties are contesting independently, and we'll have to see. When we talk of Punjab, then generally this is the trend that the incumbent party somewhere gets the leverage, somewhere gets the plus points, and we'll have to see if that again works for Bhagwant Mann and the AAP there, because he is talking of the development, the development that has been done in Punjab. He's taking that stand, and also we'll have to see how that again pans out in Punjab.
All right,
but
Preeti.
again, the exit poll suggests that it will be a good run in for BJP also in Punjab.
Yes, Preeti, we'll have to wait and see how things turn out to be, and we'll soon start finding out rather, once the clock strikes 8 a.m. IST. And Let's now talk about how managing logistics in a country with 969 million voters is an incredible task, and it is carried out by the Election Commission of India. Our next report tells you more about the ECI's role and powers. In fact, I'm being told that we can go to our guests now. We have checked everything with them, so let's introduce them as well. We have Aditi Tandon with us and Nikhil Jain also joining us. Aditi, you've been with us for a while. Nikhil, good morning to you. You've just joined us, political analyst. Aditi, first to you. What do you make of the prospects of all the political parties? Of course, they have a lot at stake here, but for the over 960 million voters, this is also a huge, huge day because they took the trouble to step out and vote. Some of them did not.
Yeah, Gautam, it's a very, very significant election because the future political fortunes of several parties are on the line here. See, exit poll predictions are painting a very rosy picture for the BJP, but a very gloomy picture on the other hand for the India parties, especially the Congress. If you look at the past results, Gautam, you will see that the BJP has broadly been expanding at the expense of regional parties. If you analyze state by state, you will...
Both numbers and footprint.
Correct, correct. So, for me, the big takeaway of today's election is going to be the fate of the regional parties, because a number of political families and their dynasts are in the fray today. You start with Punjab, you have the Shiromani Akali Dal. This is the first Lok Sabha election after the demise of the patriarch of the party, Sardar Prakash Singh Badal, who was the real glue for the alliance, the long alliance that lasted between BJP and Shiromani Akali Dal from 97 to 2020.
Aditi, let me just inform our viewers about the graphics that they're watching on the screens right now. Miniature of Indian Parliament. 272 seats is that magic figure that one has to reach to be able to win these elections. 543 seats of Lok Sabha at stake. We're showing one for NDA. That represents the Surat seat in Gujarat that was won uncontested unanimously by the NDA. So that's the summary of what the graphics represents. Aditi, please continue.
Yeah, so I was saying the political families. So you have the Akali Dal in Punjab, you have the JJP again of Dushyant Chautala. We will see where it goes because they also sever ties with the BJP.
And
so,
yeah,
we'll have to see how they fare. And who is benefiting from this severance of ties between BJP and Akali Dal in Punjab, between BJP and JJP in Haryana. Then you come to Uttar Pradesh, where the BSP is a big factor. We'll have to see where Mayawati goes today, because Mayawati's BSP, after being a major force in the reckoning across Uttar Pradesh, she actually won 204 seats in the assembly just a few years ago, and today she is on a downhill path. So her shrinking is very significant in Uttar Pradesh. Where will Akhilesh Yadav go after this election? Is he going to retain the family strongholds, or is he also going to get decimated? BJD in Odisha, where is Naveen Patnaik's future lying? So you see, it's a very important election for the regional parties. Congress, of course, continues to struggle for existence and electoral relevance. For the Congress, the big question mark will be whether they should not be looking at only the leader of opposition's post in the Lok Sabha, which they have not got in the past two elections because they have not crossed the 52 mark, which is essential. They should be looking at 100 plus seats at least today, if they want to be in any position to form the government.
Right. I think, Aditi, also Congress could think of new ways to look at win and losses in elections as well. Nikhil, I'll come to you. We connected with the reporters at the Congress, BJP and AAP headquarters. Now, something that stood out at the Congress headquarters were these banners that were being put up that broadly says that either I win or the elections are rigged. It's the EVM, I'm going to blame the EVM. It's sort of almost as indicative of what we might see ahead in the day if the numbers don't go in favor of the Congress. How do you also see the manner in which it is repetitive in the manner in which you look at the challenges faced politically by the party?
Shubhendu, I'm all for taking all your losses very gracefully, but this time around, I will, agree with the strategy that the Congress party is taking for the simple reason that there have been a lot of aspersions that have been cast on the role of the Election Commission in these elections, and it's not just the opposition or the Congress; it is the
role of the
people of
Election
India,
Commission is one thing, Nikhil, but EVM itself. That
See, I
has
think
been
to be-
established as something that cannot be questioned anymore.
I think to be very honest, the opposition using the word EVM as a symbol for malpractices in the election, that is just dumbing down of the overall unlevel playing field. I don't think it is entirely to do with EVM. I don't think that is exactly the assertion of the opposition, because when we look at the detailed press conferences or the interviews that opposition leaders are carrying out, they're not just challenging the role of the EVM. They're also talking about how the election commission is failing time and again, continually and vociferously in providing a level playing ground. Whether it is not sending a notice to the Prime Minister for his hate speech, whether it is not releasing the turnout numbers, whether it is not conducting press conferences after every phase of the election, or the number of other charges that have been levelled against the Election Commission. One of the most striking examples of that is in the Baramati seat in Maharashtra, where you have Ajit Pawar's wife contesting against Supriya Sule, where 45 minutes there was no CCTV footage in the strong room. Have we seen that in any election so far? And it's a VIP seat. It's not something that the Election Commission doesn't understand the value of it. I completely agree with Aditi ji that these elections are something that are going to determine the political fortunes of a lot of leaders, a lot of political families, and a lot of political parties. To add to her example of dynasts, I would also like to add Ajit Pawar. I would also like to add Chirag Paswan. So it's not like dynasts only exist on the opposition spectrum; they do exist on the ruling spectrum
2 points,
as well.
Nikhil. One, the familiar counter to what you're saying, that look, there is also an election recently that the Congress won. Whether we look at Karnataka that Congress won, or say the West Bengal election of 21 that Mamata Banerjee swept.
Telangana very recently.
Telangana and Mamata Banerjee sweep. So there are elections in which Congress does remarkably well, and there are no aspersions cast over the working of the EVMs or the Election Commission. That is one part. Second is, if indeed there is a lot of weight in the allegation that the Congress levels against the Election Commission, why does the Election Commission also have to now set a deadline? If you really have to substantiate, you have to do it now before the deadline expires, as it is happening at the moment, especially vis-a-vis the general elections.
So that's the point. You look at what the opposition has been trying to do. Jairam Ramesh raises an aspersion, raises a doubt that the Home Minister of the country is calling up district magistrates right before the counting days. And instead of doing a preliminary inquiry into the matter and telling the people of the country, no, nothing like this happened, we have done an inquiry. Or no, something has happened and we are going to take action against it. That should be the role of a neutral election commission. But what do we hear in the press conference from the Chief Election Commissioner? Ek fake narrative create kara ja raha hai. Honestly, sometimes I fail to understand whether when I'm seeing Commissioner Rajiv Kumar, am I seeing an independent constitutional body or am I seeing a BJP spokesperson? Because the language, the terms, the phraseology that is used, exactly the same as the BJP spokesperson.
Okay, let's in fact get in a word from somebody who can really speak about the Election Commission and the way it functions. We've got Akshay Rao joining us, former DG, Election Commission of India. Good morning to you, Mr. Rao, and what do you make of all this controversy around some routine things that the Election Commission does really when it's election time, but for some reason, because of the contentiousness of the contest, everything has become controversial and everything is being seen with a lot of doubt by the opposition?
Good morning, Gautam. That's a good question, but let me take this discussion a little in a different direction. A good election is a national achievement. It's not the achievement of Election Commission of India or the winner in the election even. I think it's the voters and it's the country India which wins after a good election. And I have been following this election from the very beginning. I've been looking at the planning and preparation as it was happening. I am not holding any brief for Election Commission of India today. And I have been watching from the time the elections were announced on 16th March. And I have reasons to believe that it has been one of the spectacularly managed elections. And the 4 aims which the Election Commission has been talking about, the muscle, money, misinformation, and the MCC issues, I think all of them have been reasonably and nicely handled. Of course, it's a work in progress. Every election is a learning, and there has to be further improvement in the next time. But there has to be some basic trust in India's system, in the constitutional system, of which Election Commission of India, the manager of the Indian elections, is a part. We can't just throw the baby with the bathwater, can we? We have seen the phases. We have seen the turnout of more than 64 crores, about half of them women. We have seen the inclusive participation of PBTG, the various people in difficult conditions of life, 85-year-old voting from home. We have seen LWE areas also having polling stations and voting. We have seen what happened in Jammu and Kashmir, how more than 58% came out for democratic participation. All these are great, precious accumulation of a national democratic and electoral heritage. We can't play it down. Now, there would be some complaints, and there are complaints. There are grievances. There are disputes, which are part of the election because it's political contestation. And in a contestation, there will be grievances. And these grievances are to be addressed in a legitimate manner. Some have gone to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has given certain rulings on everything. There have been talks on electoral roll. There have been talks on EVM. There have been talks on the data release of voter turnout. And there have been now more recently talk about counting, which is today. But I think all those questions are being answered regularly. If there is someone who wants to ask more questions, they're entitled to. But the electoral process, the electoral system, and the achievement of the Indian elections from 1951 onwards, we are in the 18th Lok Sabha now. I think it has been spectacular. And this election is one more addition to the heritage of Indian electoral democracy. And let us not try to undermine it in any manner. See, frivolous talk in the time of election is a great danger. We can talk, we can place our points in appropriate domains, and country has great institutions to answer, and they are obliged to answer. And they are, in my consideration, they are answering. And in the meantime, there is no end to distrust. Like in EVM case, Supreme Court made certain observations also. There is no end to distrust. We have a machinery right from the Chief Election Commissioner to the ARO, ROs. We have a machinery of 1.5 crore staffers. We have a machinery of 11 lakh polling stations. It is so extensive. And we have EVMs, which are also backed up by VVPATs for a sample count. We have all this. And now coming to counting, for example, we have it happening under the nose of about 60-70 lakh people. Many of them are political representatives, right from the time EVMs are randomized. So I think we should trust the system. We should trust the constitution. We should trust the whatever has been given over to us over the last 70 years. And this election is a great achievement. But at the same time, all the grievances which are being made or which are being mentioned need to be addressed, and I guess they are being addressed.
Okay. Now, Akshay Raut has also been part of the Doordarshan family, so it's all the more reason to have you with us, Sir. Shubhendu here. Now, over 600 million votes have been cast in these elections, and we've been talking about how they equal to God knows how many countries in Europe and in the West put together. If you could give us some insight now, because it's the counting day, it's going to be the EVM votes that's going to be counted, first the postal ballots, then the EVM counting. For those of us unaware, if you could give us some insight as to how does that counting process begin and continue with so many electronic votes coming in altogether?
Subhendu, thank you for the special mention about me. Yes. First thing, I think your question is in two parts. One is perhaps we all are entitled to look at this great number of participation with some satisfaction. And it has happened after the Election Commission took note that there should not be a democracy deficit by lack of participation. That happened about 10-15 years back, after which we are consistently having more than 65% turnout in every national election, even in state elections. That's a good thing. And the women coming out, the tribal communities coming out, the coming out in great numbers, increasingly numbers by the youth. The urban apathy, of course, is still there. But we are on the game of increasing democratic participation. That's big. So far as the counting is concerned of all these numbers, it is such a well laid out procedure. There cannot be any deviation from it. The day the EVMs are placed in the polling station, the political parties, candidates, their agents are involved. Besides numerous observers and micro-observers, these EVMs are placed in polling stations, votes are collected in that, matched by the verifiability of the voter verifiable paper audit trail, VVPAT, and then they are brought and kept in the good custody of a strong room, which is also monitored by CCTV. Not only by that, by the physical presence of the representative of political parties. And today when counting takes place, to all the counting centers, these are ferried again under CCTV notice and in the presence of political parties representatives. And the whole operation of the counting happens at with ARO's table. The political party agents are there. These 17 C form holders are there also in large numbers, which are matched with every control unit. And the control units are identified, opened, and counted in the presence of agents of all political parties. It's all transparency all around, like plenty of sunlight on it. So there is no question of any stink or any doubt coming anywhere, because it's happening in the glare of public eye, the stakeholders' eye. And I'll just make a mention, because you raised this point, and this point is needling some people today on the day of counting. Like the multi-party delegation went to Election Commission of India, they had quite a few points on which they made a mention and request. Each of those points have been addressed. And not only that, to be fair to one and all, there was no special resolution to be done, because all these which were requested by the political parties are part of the regular 7-decade-old procedure, which are getting stronger and stronger by the day. In any case, but if certain doubts are there, these are also being ring-fenced, if you call it, by consolidation, by allowing people to have further verification, further look, any other disclosure, transparency, that's the name of the game of election. Because elections, as some friend mentioned, are level playing field, transparency, disclosure, all these are important symptoms of good election management.
Certainly.
And as you know, just to complete this argument, globally, there are a lot of international observers who came, visitors, and Indian elections are something to be learnt and to be taken away and replicated elsewhere. We are being seen as gold standard. So I think we all should be happy, we should be trusting, and we should feel good that we have come to the conclusion of a great exercise, whatever may be the political results.
Certainly. Mr. Rao, thank you so much for joining us with your views and the information that you shared with all our viewers, very timely as well, just before the counting of vote begins. And that gets us to the point where we let you know what is the election breaking news at this moment. So that's what you're going to see on the screen. So counting of votes will be beginning shortly, just a matter of about 20 minutes to go.
The early trends are also likely to follow. Thereafter, all eyes are going to be on the results. The counting is about to begin in, say, about 20 minutes time at 8 a.m. sharp IST. Early trends are also expected to start coming in the moment the counting begins. Of course, first going to be the postal ballots that will be counting, and very adequate security
arrangements are also in place across all counting centers, with all the paraphernalia there to ensure that it's a smooth and unquestionable process.
It's a very short while from now, less than 20 minutes to go for the counting to begin for the 18th Lok Sabha. And ahead of the election results, the mood is upbeat as far as the stock market is concerned. The exit polls of India's general elections have propelled Indian stock markets to record highs. And we're showing you on the screen the exit poll outcomes, but also some glimpses of the stock market. On Monday, all 13 sectoral indices were in the green, while financial services, oil and gas, power sectors led the rally in Nifty. Sensex was up 2,507 points as it hit a fresh high of 76,469. Nifty hit an all-time high of 23,264. And let's also see how Sensex and Nifty react today as the markets open and the counting continues, Gautam.
Yes, it'll be quite a day to watch and not a day for the faint-hearted, really, because fortunes do change as well. But if it's like as reflected in exit polls, the outcome of these elections, then the markets will be touching new record heights as well. Amit Mukherjee, my colleague, is now joining us. Amit, just tell us about the mood of the nation at the moment, because the exit polls have set it in one particular direction, and it will be really strange if something else were to happen.
Well, Gautam, the mood of the nation when it comes to stock market, it was very, very upbeat yesterday. In fact, the bulls were unleashed yesterday at the stock market, and if you look at the figures, which you rightly pointed out, you know, the Sensex at one point of time, in fact, it breached the 76,700 mark. And coming to, I mean, what it translated to is what we need to understand. In fact, investors became richer by almost $180 billion only yesterday. In fact, and the market capitalization of BSE Sensex, it actually went through the roof, 5.2 trillions. You know, if you look at November, for the first time, it crossed about 4 trillion. And today, I mean, it's about 6 months down the line, and BSE is at 5.2 trillion. That is a remarkable figure. And if I can just point at the performance of the stocks yesterday, more than 2,300 stocks actually closed in green, and in fact 275 stocks, they recorded a 52-week high. I mean, that's a fantastic performance propelled by what we saw in the exit polls. And if that kind of a figure now translates, the exit poll translates to reality, I mean, we're going to see another historic day again in the stock market today. Gautam?
All right, interesting there. The exit polls make some people rich, clearly, as far as the stock market is concerned. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates. So for now, let's also look at the manner in which south of India has been in focus in these elections. We'll also play out some graphics. For the BJP, it has been Mission South. If we look at the India's general elections 2024 and compare, 24 results are yet to come, but in 2019, if we look at the number of seats that were 129 were won by the BJP, 28 by the Congress, 74 by the regional parties and independents. So in 2019, we see that BJP emerged as the single largest party as far as southern states are concerned. And in 2024 elections, although the trends are yet to come, it's not 8 a.m. We know Mission South has been a critical part of BJP's poll campaigning. Gautam?
Yes, certainly. And Aditi, if you talk about the fate of the regional parties, that it will also see a clear reflection in these southern states as well, because that is something that has been a key determinant. The others tally for 2019 was the highest.
131 seats to be taken.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only place where the Congress and the regional party combined were able to halt the Modi juggernaut in the country was in South India last time. Of course, you know, they won when you show the graphics. You show that they won 29 seats, which makes them the single largest party of South India. But I think we lose the perspective when we say that. We have to break it up, because Tamil Nadu, the DMK is a clear, you know, dominant force even today. They are poised to win big again, according to exit poll predictions, and Congress is an ally of the DMK. But in other states, the exit polls are predicting gains for the BJP. So we have to come to Tamil Nadu, whether BJP is able to win even one seat there. See, BJP has won seats in Tamil Nadu previously. They did win 4 MPs in one election, you know, in late 90s. So it's not as though they've never won there. But Kerala is a barren electoral landscape for the BJP. Will the BJP open its account in Kerala is the question. Andhra Pradesh is a very big important state, because BJP drew a blank in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Kerala.
We're looking at those
in
data
the 2019
right now.
election.
Aditi, in 2014, 2 seats that the BJP scored. In 2019, 0 seats. And we see that startling rise of YSR Congress, which swept most of the seats in Andhra Pradesh in the 2019 election.
But this time the situation might be different, because there's a tie-up that the BJP has.
The biggest takeaway for me in South India is going to be in Telangana. Because Telangana, what I foresee is the BJP and the Congress becoming dominant parties there, and a firm and definitive decline of the BRS.
Which we've also seen in the state
That's
assembly
the story.
elections.
And Congress, of course, you know, having won the last assembly election, is in a good position. So we'll have to see how the two parties, you know, pan out in this Lok Sabha election.
Right, Nikhil, and again, Telangana seats, let's just quickly look at the manner in which 2019 panned out. Out of the 17 seats of Telangana, BJP in 2019 winning 4, Congress 3, BRS 9. Then it was still a dominant party, but it has lost a lot of ground. AIMIM, OAC, Hyderabad seat, 1 seat. It's a very interesting contest there, of course.
And in 2019, BRS was TRS, so it still was a regional party, and then it had national aspirations, and that
a lot has changed.
Quite a lot of dwindling of fortunes, really.
In 2024, a lot has changed as far as Telangana is concerned. And Nikhil, I'll come to you. While the south of India, the southern states are seen as the final frontier for the BJP, for the Congress and a lot of regional subtypes, it's seen as the last bastion in many manner. How do you see this contest this time focusing on the southern states in 2024?
Shubhendu, first of all, I disagree with the statement that you made. It is not that the Congress does not hold any ground in the north. So what very often tends to happen is that we look at the number of seats that the Congress has gotten in the so-called Hindi belt. And when we see the single-digit numbers, we tend to think that the Congress is all wiped off, or in the words of the BJP, supra saaf ho gaya. But you look at the vote share. The vote share of the Congress
If I can quickly also inform the audiences about the data we're looking on the screen. It's the state of Kerala. 2019 results, BJP has not opened a score as yet in Lok Sabha elections in the state. Congress swept the election in Kerala.
It's the UDF seats that did, because they have a tie-up there. So
they also had the Wayanad seat where the then Congress chief Rahul Gandhi was fighting the elections from. And there's also
he won with a margin of more than 4 lakh votes. This time that margin is also going to be under the microscope.
That's correct. But Nikhil, please continue.
Yes. Coming back to the point I was making, that in North India, the Congress vote share, if you look at the North and the Western states, basically the BJP's seat tally of 303 last time, if you analyze it, more than 76% of the seats came from the northern states and the western states. In these states, the Congress's seat tally was, I think, something like 9 or 10, right? And what you see in that is that in most of these states, the Congress has about a 25% or even higher vote share. So that is not calling a party which has no political ground left. In these states, the Congress or the party that forms part of the India Alliance.
But that doesn't translate into seats. The comment was in that context of getting the seat.
Absolutely.
Really.
So but when we look at the political fortune of a party in a particular state, I would like to look at the vote share. And I would agree with the point that is being made. Like, vote share of the BJP is going to increase in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. I'm not going to say that the BJP is a zero force in Tamil Nadu. Even if they come out with 0 seats, I'm not going to say that, because vote share is basically what determines the popularity of a political party or a political leader between the people. And once you cross those magic swing vote share numbers, things can dramatically change. That a 5% vote share from this party to the other party could completely turn away the results of the election. I'll give you an interesting stat for your viewers. In the 2019 elections in Assam, the BJP got 36.05% of the vote share. The Congress got 35.44%. The difference was less than 1%. But the BJP seat tally was 9, while the Congress's seat tally was 3. That's how the first past the post system works. So I'm not going to write off a political party, whether it's a BJP or the Congress.
Even those nuanced analysis, and I'm glad that you're giving us information on the vote share as well. And there we're talking about Assam. Let's look at the Assam seats of 2019 as well. 14 seats in Lok Sabha for Assam, the BJP taking most of them, 9 seats, as Nikhil also mentioned, the manner in which the vote share was divided. The Congress getting 3 seats, AIUDF 1 seat, AGP, Gana Parishad and Jatiya Parishad are also important parties. Jatiya Parishad is in alliance with the Congress, Gana Parishad in alliance with the BJP, this time over, others in 2019 taking 1. Just a reminder, in less than 10 minutes time, we should have those initial numbers and trends. The counting is set to begin at 8 a.m. sharp. So Nikhil, that very nuanced analysis that you presented, but that should also be a cause of worry for the Congress, coming so close to getting a seat but still not making it. And as a result, in 2014, we see the debate going around Congress being reduced to around 40, in 2019 around 50, and this time around, again, it can't just bank on the idea of vote share. It needs to get the seats.
Shubhendu, this is one point I absolutely agree with you on, that this is the biggest worry of the Congress, that they constantly fail to capitalize on their vote share in terms of the seat share. Again, to give you an interesting stat of the previous elections, the BJP's number of seats in the Lok Sabha was about 6 times as much as the Congress's, but the vote share was only twice. The BJP somehow manages to consolidate its vote share so as to, game the system of first past the post, get the maximum gains out of it. While the Congress thoroughly fails at it, I think this is what the Congress party needs to do, that, capitalize on it instead of going to areas where you're definitely going to lose, or focusing overtly on those areas where you have a win just to increase that margin of victory. They should, I think, be working on the swing states and the swing seats and the swing booths. So that's what I believe.
All right. Well, that opportunity is past now, because we're at the stage of when we begin counting of votes. So all that analysis will have to be done post the counting, when the results actually come in, and that will not take too long now. And we'll be taking that up in a fresh edition of this show that we're bringing to you all day today, continuous coverage of India Decides 2024. Shubhendu,
Absolutely.
it's time really now to get into that mode of ensuring that we have churning of numbers is very regular, and it keeps pace with how things are going in the counting centers.
Absolutely. From 6 a.m. this morning, we've been talking about how the elections have been in the past. What did the exit polls say? But in just about 5 minutes, we'll be looking at the numbers, and because these are postal ballots and electronic votes, the numbers and trends would be coming in very quickly. Our focus would be in the manner and the direction in which they're moving and what they mean. We're heading for a short break in India Decides 2024. Our continuous coverage continues in a minute from now.